For the last 20 years, best-selling author Dr. Rita Louise has been shedding light on some of the world's most shrouded mysteries. A leading and respected medical intuitive, she is known for getting to the root of any problem. Today, Dr. Rita is going to share her discoveries with you. And now, where science and spirit meet.
What happens to us when we die? According to Christian tradition, the viewpoint most widely held in the United States, it is believed that when we die, our soul exits the body and we go to one of two places, heaven or hell. If we are good, honest, or pure in life, there is a good chance that we will go to heaven. There we will spend eternity in a virtual paradise, or as some people envision it, with us sitting on a cloud playing a harp for eternity. If, on the other hand, we live a life filled with hate, evil, or ill intent, it is believed that we will be spending eternity in the pits of darkness amongst fire and brimstone. Yes, we will be calling hell home. Once you step outside of Christianity, the viewpoint of what happens after death changes dramatically. The concept of reincarnation, or the transmigration of the soul, is believed in cultures around the globe. Reincarnation is the belief that after death, our soul leaves the body, and in time will come back to earth embodied in the body of a newborn baby, human or otherwise. Instead of spending eternity in paradise or torment, we experience cycles of life and death here on earth. The concept of reincarnation is most often associated with the wisdom of the East. It only takes a little digging to quickly discover that it is not only the yogis who believe in cycles of life on earth. It was in 323 AD at the Council of Nicaea that the concept of reincarnation was tossed out of Christian theology. The purpose of the Council of Nicaea was for early Christians to settle their disputes regarding Christ. These disputes range from who was Christ? Was he man or divine? What was his relationship to the one true God? Included in these arguments was the concept of life after death. Obviously, by the end of the council's meeting, the belief in reincarnation was out. Along with it was a group of early Christians who are now considered heretics, called the Gnostics. The belief in reincarnation clearly exists within the tradition of the Gnostics. Their writings, now known as the Apocrypha, were rejected by the early church father for inclusion in the Bible. These early Christian texts include the Secret Book of John and the myth of Sophia. In the Secret Book of John, the concept of a soul re-entering the body is clearly described. The myth of Sophia takes this concept even further, where it describes the consequences one can expect after death and during their next lifetime. Judaism, the forefather of Christianity, also holds a belief in reincarnation. Flavius Josephus, a first-century historian, states that the belief in reincarnation was held by the Pharisees. The Pharisees were a group of strictly observant Jews in the first century. According to Josephus, the Pharisees believed that when the soul moves into another body, we all have the power to live again. In the Zohar, a foundational work of Jewish mysticism, reincarnation is also clearly described. It says that all souls are subject to revolutions. Additionally, it infers that at birth we lose our memory of our earlier lives and the judgments we incurred at death. In his book, The Republic, the early Greek philosopher Plato describes what happens to the soul after death. According to Plato, we are either rewarded or punished for 1,000 years. At the end of that time, we each make a choice of what kind of life we wish to be born into. The Aborigines of Australia believe that the soul of man comes from spirits left behind by beings who lived during a mythical period of time they call the dream time. Likewise, after death, the person's soul returns to the abode of the ancestral spirits. In Buddhism, the concept of reincarnation takes a slight shift. Instead of each of us containing an eternal soul or spirit, there is only a stream of consciousness that links us with life. In Hinduism, the belief in reincarnation plays an integral part of their philosophical tradition. In their sacred text, the Vishnu Purana, gestation, birth, life, death, and what awaits us in the afterlife are all clearly described. It is believed that at birth we lose all knowledge of ourselves and our previous existences here on earth. Without the knowledge of where we have been and where we should go, we are left up to our own devices to do good or suffer the consequences. In this tradition, there is only pain and suffering. That is, until we let go of the illusion of self and merge once again with God. Apparently, it takes us all a very long time to ever reach this state of development. In recent years, the search for what happens after death has been revitalized. Individuals who have had near-death experiences have come forward and told their stories. Their tales often include moving into a bright light, traversing a long tunnel or hallway, and being met on the other end by friends or loved ones. Individuals who have had near-death experiences are often directed to go back to their physical bodies or are given a choice as to whether they want to stay in their new home or return. Reluctantly, they return, but they are all filled with a newfound understanding of living and of life. Scientific proof of life after death has been elusive at best. As we have learned from ancient sources, we lose our memories of our earlier lives. If we don't know where we've been, how can we know if we existed before? One scientist, Dr. Ian Stevenson, spent years documenting cases of children with recall of their last life here on Earth. With over 3,000 case files, his work is the best collection of data that reincarnation is real. Children who remember their earlier life will often make spontaneous remarks including specific names, locations, and details of their lives and personal possessions they owned. Children between the ages of 2 and 4 are the most common to utter recalled memories and remarks about their previous life. This usually ceases by the time the child reaches the age of 8. When the claims made by these children are investigated, many of them are found to be true. The concept of reincarnation and the existence of life after death is something that has been contemplated since the earliest of times. Even today, what happens to us after death is still a mystery. Do we return to Earth in cycles of life and death, or do we spend eternity in perpetual bliss? The scientific jury is still out, but based upon ancient traditions, what will happen to us when our time here on Earth is through does seem clear. If we don't remember it, we will have a chance to learn it all over again.